Digital lending. What is meant by there is digital lending? This is currently the word in use. The Reserve Bank of India has constituted a working group on digital lending. Recent spurt and popularity of online lending platforms or mobile lending apps has raised concerns, serious concerns, which have wider systemic implications. Against this backdrop, the working group constituted by Reserve Bank of India to study all the aspects of digital lending activities is regulated financial sector as well as unregulated players. So the working process of digital lending is how the digital lending takes place. The customer finds about a loan via SMS blast. Within minutes, the customer downloads the app and applies with minimal documentation. The loan is approved within minutes and disbursed into the customer's mobile wallet. The loan is repaid with a click of button and followed up with a customized offer. Help is available 24 by 7 through chat or call center. So this is the whole process of digital lending. Basically, it's the minimal documentation work is there in the digital lending platforms. So, against this backdrop, a working group is constituted by the Reserve Bank of India to study all aspects of digital lending activities in a regulated financial sector as well as unregulated players. The working group will evaluate digital lending activities and assess the penetration and standards of outsourced digital lending activities in RBI regulated entities. It will also identify the risks posed by the unregulated lending because unregulated this is online is unregulated lending, right? Unregulated digital lending needs to be regulated and should identify the risks to the financial stability, regulated entities and customers, and recommended regulatory or statutory measures and robust fair practices for digital lending platforms. So RBI had earlier clarified that illegitimate public lending activities can be undertaken by banks. The legitimate public lending activities will be undertaken by the banks, non-banking financial companies (NBFCs) registered with the RBI, and other entities that are regulated by the state governments under statutory provisions such as money lending acts or states concerned and so on. When coming to the digital lending models, online lender FSPs that provide end-to-end digital lending products via a website of mobile application, that is an online lender. P2P lender digital platforms that facilitate the provision of digital credit between many borrowers and lenders, typically playing an ongoing central role in the relationship between these parties. And coming to the e-commerce and social platforms, these digital platforms where the credit is not their core business, but they leverage their digital distribution, strong brand, and rich customer data to offer the credit. So, online lender, P2P lender, and e-commerce lender. Online lender is basically nothing but an end-to-end product via a website. So if you go to that website, you can log in and ask for the lending opportunity. So you will take only from that website. But in P2P lender, that is those who want to borrow and those who want to lend, they come together to a P2P platform, that is digital which facilitate between the lenders and borrowers. So and this is only one lender and many borrowers. An e-commerce platform. See, digital platforms where the credit is not their core business, e-commerce, but they leverage their credit digital distribution, strong brand, and rich customer data to offer the credit to the customers. So, uh, and also marketplace platforms, digital platforms that originate and match one borrower with many lenders for an origination fee. The lender and borrower then enter into a bilateral agreement. That is, marketplace is nothing but if you go to a market, there are many lenders. So these digital platforms that originate and match one borrower with many lenders for an origination fee. The lender and the borrower then enter into a bilateral agreement. Now coming to the supply chain lender. These are the non-cash digital loans for specific asset financing, invoice financing, or pay as you go asset purchase within a supply chain or distribution network and so on. That is basically these deals with the asset financing. They provide you the assets required and also the invoices that are required. And coming to the mobile money lender partnership model wherein the lenders work with the mobile network operators to offer mobile money loans to continue their customer base leverage to their customer base leveraging mobile phone data for scoring. And also the technology enabled lender traditional service providers that have digitalized parts the lending process either in-house or through partnerships. So these are the some types of lending activities. And about the see, we have already seen that RBA and other entities that are regulated by state governments under the statutory provisions, such as money lending acts of the state concerned. Further, RBI mandated digital lending platforms used on behalf of the banks and NBFCs to disclose their names of the bank and NBFCs upfront to the customers. That is, you have to disclose everything: name of the bank, whom what you are lending, and all the details, registration details, and so on. About the digital lending, see, digital lending is a process of offering loans that are applied for disbursed and managed through digitalized channels in which lenders use digitalized data to inform credit decisions and build intelligence customer engagement. This digital lending ecosystem is complex and evolving. Around the world, digital lending models are characterized by distinct market structures and regulatory environments and customer needs that we have already seen. In India, already created a stack of public digital identity payments and documentation infrastructure which are conducive to digital lending. Also, Aadhaar enabled payments system and high smartphone penetration. See, the Aadhaar enabled payment system and high smartphone penetration and the focus on digital and the focus of Digital India program uh, adds complements to the India's enabling regulation. How digital lending will impact financial services ecosystem in India. That is, it tells about the basically Aadhaar enabled payment systems and smartphone penetration has made the digital platform and Digital India program. It complements these digital lending platforms, and also there are many public stack of public identity payments and documentation infrastructure that are already existed. So it makes easy for the digital lending platforms to emerge. How digital lending will impact the financial service ecosystem in India. Efficiency and reach. Digital lending are enabling the financial service providers, FSPs. FSPs are financial service providers to offer a better product to more undeserved, underserved clients in a faster, fair, and efficient and inclusive manner. Innovation and competitiveness. Cost efficiency gains from fintech models drive product innovation, which will diversify and specialize the business models to target wider markets. Also, it will increase the participation of non-traditional players. Generally, you want to go to bank, but for small amounts, you don't want to bank for the loans. So these fintech companies, with their innovative target models and business models, they reach the wider markets and also increase the participation of the non-traditional players. And coming to the credit risk management, enhancements to underwriting or credit models using data from non-traditional data sources will improve the robustness in credit risk. That is, data they collected from the non-traditional data sources will improve the credit risk management. And also, the ecosystem of growth and partnership, supportive and collaborative regulators will aid further growth of fintech ecosystem in convenience of segmentation, targeting and positioning models, online models, and so on. We see that how digital fintech lending help in accessing the undeserved markets. See, limitations of access to the undeserved markets. What are the limitations are there? See, requirement for physical verification and high cost are there in traditional bank lending operations. The underwriting process requires a credit history or proof of a steady income or a asset-based collateral. Cooperatives are relatively small in size and lack a competitiveness to attract money suppliers in the market. Risk of irrational credit and limiting the funding opportunities of the cooperatives because they don't have collateral and to attract the money suppliers for an interest based loans, and also the risk of irrational credit and limited funding opportunities. So how the fintech lending overcomes the limitation, how the fintech overcomes the limitations, utilizes digital footprint as a substitution for physical documents for verification and usage of third-party data in order to define eligibility, which lowers operational cost compared to the conventional lending. Processes the underwriting assessment through the digital processing platforms with various data points to identify typical attributes of interest rates to be charged without prior collateral. Developed a simple and convenient platforms for attracting investments. Yet most of the processes are completed through the digital platforms, which attracts large number of potential lenders. Customers create assessment models which employs behavior data to identify typical attributes for charging interest rates, supported by large amounts of funding from retail and institutional lenders. That is, based on your detailed input details only, it analyzes how much interest rate can be given to a person. So such data can reduce the credit risk to a large extent. It reduces the credit risk to the large extent, and also the market coverage is also increases, and it also lowers the operational cost of conventional lending. So, ecosystem of growth, supportive and collaborative regulators will aid further the growth of fintech ecosystems in convenience of segmentation, targeting, and positioning models, online models, and consumers to increase the financial inclusion and mobile penetration. See, this segmentation, targeted positioning, online models. See, these basically help in identifying the targets and reaching them. Consumers to increase their financial inclusion also increases, and mobile penetration. So, what are the challenges faced by the digital lending ecosystem in India? Unauthorized digital lenders are increasing. There are cases about the individuals and small business falling prey to a growing number of unauthorized digital lending platforms or mobile applications, over indebtedness and NPS, taking out multiple simultaneous loans due to the ease of access, limited or no evaluation of capacity to repay, limited customer understanding could lead to over indebtedness of consumers and NPA of lenders, and also the high interest rates and aggressive collection. Unauthorized digital lending platforms are charging excessive rates of interest and high-handed recovery methods. And data privacy, there are concerns raised about misuse of agreements to access data on mobile phones of borrowers by digital lending platforms. So, how the challenges in the digital lending ecosystem can be tackled? So, there is a National Lending Corporation (NLC) need to be an umbrella body, National Lending Corporation, an umbrella body focused on regulation over the lending on line of the National Payments Corporation of India needs to be formed under the oversight of RBI. Use of technology, application of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain in the lending space should be increased to evaluate capacity of consumers to overcome the problem of over indebtedness and NPAs. Financial literacy, it is vital to make aware consumers about frauds and unauthorized digital lenders and also understand the digital lending ecosystem well. Data protection, there must be a clear guidelines to ensure the data security, privacy, and confidentiality of the consumers. Code of conduct, digital lenders should proactively develop and commit a code of conduct that outlines the principles of integrity, transparency, and consumer protection with a clear standards of disclosure and grievance redressal mechanisms. So these challenges and these solutions can help to increase the digital lending platforms with a positive approach in, to increase the financial inclusion of our country.